boss. Love yourself. Get up and dance. Level up. Level up. Level up. Level up. Level up. Come on, y'all. Level up. Level up. Level up. Level up. Level up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Level up. 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 Oh, this sounds so yummy. Oh, this sounds so yummy. No, you want this yummy. Yummy all the time. Level up. 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 Oh, it sounds so yummy. Oh, it sounds so woo. No, you want this yummy. Now y'all know I've been working out, right? Level up. Let's level up. That's what this
Yes, yes, yes.
about.
Woo! Yes.
Center stage and owning it in your life, your career, your looping. But we are here to celebrate. We're here to celebrate our success.
Yes.
There's 57 of us. There is a honorary chapter 2. My mom. Shout out to you. It's almost like the airwaves and the network can feel our excitement. You ever notice that the internet will act crazy the minute your juices, and I'm serious about that, the minute your juices are up, it can't handle the power that's in there. And so we are bringing Dr. Schuler. Thank you so much for joining us. We have the author from the Own It Anthology in the house. I want everyone to introduce themselves. Be quick, because so many of us. Just say hello, name your chapter, and say one of the wow moments. What got you here?
Are you talking?
Tiffany, would you say hello to the audience?
Oh, I'm sorry.
You have to come off mute.
I know, okay. Sorry, guys. I'll share to my page, all our beautiful energy. My name is Tiffany Williams. I am the author known as Tiffany Janae. And what brought me here is obviously the over years work of working with Marisa, who is a godsend, and I love all of what she does for us in the Own It magazine. And I just wanted to share my story, share what I feel is important about writing a path that is unapologetic in your life. So I'm here and I wanted to share with the audience about that. And so I'm so happy for everyone to read my chapter along with all these 56 beautiful men and women's chapters in this book.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So Elder Eileen, will you share, say hello to our audience?
Yes, hello everyone. Yes, I'm over the Eagles next year. I was on the platform. This is my third time. And of course, I had to spread my Eagles gear. But of course, next year, I am originally from the Bronx, New York. I lived in Philadelphia for 30 years now, here in Sumter, South Carolina, caring for my mother. And my chapter is Rooted and Grounded. How did I come to this place? Well, my Toastmaster buddy and colleague, Marisa Blordun, she finished before I did, earning her Distinguished Toastmaster, which is called a DTM. And I'm telling you, she was focused on what she wanted to do, and that's how it evolved with her business, her consulting, and now with this anthology. So I am so glad to be on this platform.
Oh, awesome. And so next up, Lulu, will you share? Yeah, to come off mute.
Take myself off mute. I'm Jacqueline Brown. Most know me by Lulu. I'm fondly known as Lulu. And I'm just so honored to be here as part of this Own It Anthology. And I cannot wait to just see all of us collectively soar above and beyond where we could even think of or imagine. I am a certified coach, business consultant, women leadership consultant, and coach. And basically, my passion and my love is for women to go to their highest level and to have a life that sings to their soul. That's my sole purpose. So, in my chapter, I take people through a little bit of a journey around career and being authentic, navigating those waters and not losing who you are. Because I've been there, done that. So learn from others' mistakes because you'll never live long enough to make them all your own. A friend's mother
Oh,
gave me
good.
really good wisdom.
That's very good. That is very, very good. And we will be ascending in March. We'll be in Dubai with Lulu Brown and just really working with some women and really speaking into their lives. I'm super excited about that. And so next up, if we could have Dee Sands, would you share with the audience?
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Dee Sands. And this was an awesome opportunity for me. Actually, it took me outside of my comfort zone. And I've known Marissa for a while. So when she asked me to participate in it, I thought about it. At first, I was going to say, no, this isn't something for me. But I am a licensed certified financial coach, but my passion is life insurance. And it's not just about selling the life insurance, but it's the things that you need to do to sit down and have that family talk, to let everyone know, those things that need to be known when your untimely death happens. I mean, we have accounts, we have different things that those things need to stop. You need to let your family members know if you have subscriptions going on, if you have other things that are coming out your bank accounts, you want to end that because you don't want it to deplete the money that's there because you no longer need it. And you need to inform your family members of things because I'm not sure about you, but I have family members that I am paying for different items. For example, phone bills. If I'm not here anymore and it's not being paid for, then you need to take care of that yourself. But my passion is the life insurance, and it's not just selling it, but just to inform you on the things that need to be happening when you do have an untimely death. And my chapter is I'm not the villain, says the life insurance agent. Because when you mention, life insurance, people look at me like I'm the Grim Reaper. And it's like, no, it's not that. I'm just here to educate you. But we know this is a necessity that we need to have. So I'm glad that I have the opportunity that I can spread it amongst a larger audience and just to let them know that this is something of importance. And, it'll make your family feel a lot better once they know what's going on. And those are things that we need to share with each other. So I am so excited. And this is something new for me, but as I mentioned, it made me come out of my comfort zone. And I'm glad that Marissa had me to do it because then it opens doors for me to be able to do it in the future. And now I'm a little more comfortable, but it was really exciting and I'm happy for it. I'm excited about it. And it's just like, we're going to level up, ladies. I'm loving it. Yes. Thank you.
Listen, I want to say this. The reason why, it's a divine appointment, and how you show up for your divine appointments are really up to you. It's really, really up to you. I can offer it, but it's what you do with it. And I could see in the different chapters who did what with their opportunity, because this is an opportunity. This is a shifting moment. And so with the life insurance, and people always say to me, one, everybody wants to, yeah, we go internet, box of their own understanding. But when your capacity is wide, which my capacity is wide, you can handle so much more than maybe someone else. So when I was approached about coaching and different things like this, they want you to make these little avatars about people, profiles, and whatever. But my reach in inspiring people extends beyond. It extends across generations, and it reaches both men and women. I tap into and inspire both men and women. And so this whole platform, Own It, is cross generational and it's both gender. It's cross generational and it's both gender. And D is a prime example of why you can't be close knit when you're meant to spread wide. Because how many GoFund profiles are set up out there? Because people have not taken the opportunity. Just get small insurance. You don't even have to get this big policy, but you get something to cover the cost, so you don't have to go out and do a GoFund meeting, GoFund, fundraiser. You would be already. That's what insurance is all about: is insuring your peace of mind, and so and your bank account, so that people are not being extended or overextended because of your lack of preparation. That's why this is important in a book like this, Personal Professional Business Development, because guess what? When people have stuff going on at home, they are not showing up well at the job, right? And if things are going on at the job, they're not showing up well at home. It's called the spillover effect. And the reason why I have this approach is to give people a holistic approach. When they read each story has its own story in it. And it connects to someone individually or across domains, across their life, their career, their business. It addresses love relationships. It addresses building confidence, spirituality, career development, or business development. It taps into all of that. Finance. It taps into all of that. That's why you see an array of stories and an array of backgrounds here. Dr. Schuler, would you introduce yourself and share a little bit about your topic?
Okay, hi, I'm Dr. Janet Schuler, and my portion of the book, my portion of the book is Secure the Gates. And first of all, I want to say, before I say anything about me, I'm just so honored, Marissa, that you are doing this and that you have brought such diverse people together with such diverse stories that all integrate and are so important. So thank you, because it's a huge undertaking. You've taken on quite a few of us. So God bless you. And so my portion is Secure the Gates. And so often we think of the gates out there, and the gates out there do need to be secured, but we can't secure the gates out there if we haven't secured the gates in here and in here. So how can I say? I got my doctorate from Seton Hall, but the doctorate that I'm most proud of is the one I got through the School of Hard Knocks. And so I am an honorary doctorate from the School of Hard Knocks. And that is where I got my best information from. And it's put there in Secure the Gates because I had to work on me. I don't know if anybody else had to work on themselves, but I had to work hard on me so that I could secure my gates. And that's kind of biblical too. We've got to take the log out of our own eye if I'm going to take the speck out of your eye. And so there's a lot of gates out there that need securing, but I can't do a proper job of securing any other gate if I haven't secured my own gate. And I find that me, myself, and I are a full-time job. So that's maybe in a thumbnail sketch of what Secure the Gates is about.
Yeah, it's powerful and it goes in depth. And so it's everything in this book is about. So that's why we have the two. We have the book itself that tells you about the story, and then we have the journal that helps you do the introspective work. It's all about self-awareness. Self-awareness should lead you to self-development, because once you become aware of yourself, you have to do what? Secure the gates. You got to develop yourself. Then you have to go on and start mastering. As Lulu said, you have to master the way of navigating through all of this, right? Successfully. It's not talking about being perfect. Mastery is not about being perfect. It's about knowing thyself well enough to know what makes you tick and ticks you off, and how you work around it to still get the results that you want. And so next up is Rochelle. Rochelle, say hello to the audience and share a little bit about your story, which I think is important, that's not talked about enough.
Good afternoon, everyone. And again, I'm going to just go ahead and echo. Thank you so much, Marissa. Not only has she given me the courage, strength, the focus, and just being so patient with me, with all of my different messagings that I sent her throughout the morning and evenings. But greetings to everyone. My name is Rochelle Campbell, and my introduction to meeting with Marissa was from a previous book that I wrote, my first anthology, and it was called The Silent Killer: Workplace Bullying. And so I went through that for several years, and during that time, it was very psychologically traumatic, very self-esteem booster, and very hard to deal with, like, everyday life, because you just never knew what was going to happen from one day to the next. However, over time and just developing what I needed to develop for myself, so in this particular book, I wrote about unplugging from psychological trauma. And it was very important for me to show up unplugging from it. One, because I had to go on with my life, and I couldn't let anybody or anyone stop me from whatever God put purposefully for me to do. And during my storm that I was going through, I actually started a nonprofit called Toiletries and Company, and where we provide toiletry items to the community. And it wasn't that I was going to do anything when I was going through, it was just that God nudged me to say, take my own self off my mind and help other people. And so from that nudging, that birthed Toiletries and Company. And so we provide toiletries throughout the community. We have toiletry closets in several schools. And so it just keeps me inspired to, if I was still plugged psychologically from the trauma, I wouldn't have been able to move forward to everything that I'm able to do in the community today. So thank you. Thank you all authors for, showing up in this particular book. It's a wonderful book. I wasn't able to read everybody's story, but I have been thumbing through them. And everybody's done a wonderful job.
Oh, awesome. And look at that. And we have to come together, and we have to support Rochelle too. We have to support Rochelle. So make sure that you reach out to, as fellow authors, reach out to her. A small amount of money goes a long way. Just think, $5 from 10 people is $50. $5 from 100 people is $500. So little money, you don't have to go broke doing it. But we gotta, when we hear someone say, I'm doing something on this kind of a level, it's not for us to just hear it and say, oh, Rochelle, that's very good. It's for us to come into our hearts and go into our pockets and say, hey, we want to help. We want to help. And so she talks about an issue that I think folks take for granted, and that's workplace bullying. We think that bullying stops at the playground and after we leave high school. No, it doesn't, because if those same individuals never check their behavior, the behavior continues on in through and throughout their lifespan development. It never changes because no one corrects it. They don't correct it. They don't self-correct. And then there's no one holding them accountable to correct them. And I even experienced that. But you know me, Rochelle, I kick butt. You're gonna be traumatized. You come from me. So we gotta stand up. But you still, even with you being strong, even with me being the strong, resilient individual I am, there's still pain in that. There's still trauma in that. To me, to say that that's not the truth is a lie. It's still trauma. We still can come back and, beat everybody up or whatever. We still experience trauma. Even when you're strong, it does not matter. We still face strong trauma. And I'm thankful that you didn't call, counter robbery to say, I'm not telling anybody this. I'm not going to tell anybody, because it's going on a lot more and at all different levels than we even talk about or acknowledge. Am I right, Lulu? All right. And so we're going to move over to Sacha, and Sacha is going to have us on her platform. So I want you to share about your chapter, but I also want you to share about the things that you are doing as well. So share and introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. Thank you again, Marissa, for this opportunity. It's a pleasure being a part of a platform with so many great authors, whether it's your first time or, multiple times. It's just good to be in the midst of good people with wonderful stories. So my chapter is Trust Your Dopeness. And it's actually a personal reminder to myself, is to remember that you're great in everything you do. And so that came about from my own story, being in business for a while, as a CEO and founder of SWI Management Group. And I went through a terrible situation with the pandemic impacting my business, but I had to get to a point of getting out of that mental roller coaster with it. And I had to remember that I was great. And so in doing that, it's okay. You know what? It's the coolest way of saying is like, trust your dopeness, Sasha. So when I told myself that, like, you know what, this is something that everyone needs to know, and they just trust their dopeness and everything. So that's really what that chapter is all about. In that, me finding more of myself throughout my experience with the pandemic and how it impacted my business, but I regrouped and I relaunched my business in December 2021. And from there, I became the face of my brand. So that was a big part of the change that I made. But since doing that, it's been phenomenal. Speaking internationally, I founded my podcast, which is called According to Sasha Podcast. Been featured in AP News and everywhere. I'm everywhere now. And it was just that pivot that I had to make. But if it wasn't for the pandemic rebirthing me, then I probably wouldn't have shown up the way I'm showing up now. And so I just have to always remind myself, Sasha, trust your dopeness. And it actually is on the shirt too. So that chapter is there to encourage so many other people. What I'm doing now is encouraging and helping entrepreneurs build sustainable businesses. Too many people lost their businesses during the pandemic. I was one that came out, I regrouped, I refocused, and I kept on going. But there was over 200,000 people that lost their businesses. And so I'm very passionate about helping people build sustainable businesses through strategic practices, but also holistically. So I do include mindset along with mental wellness. Mental wellness is my passion topic right now. I've chosen to be vulnerable and transparent about it and be that person to talk about those ugly truths about entrepreneurship. And in the midst of it all, still trust your dopeness. So that's what I do. That's what my chapter's about in a nutshell, because I don't want to tell it all. I will tell it all, but I'm not trying to do that right here. But I would love to have you guys on my podcast soon. Thank you.
So yeah, we're looking forward to being there. A lot of energy, a lot of love. And so thank you so much, Sasha. And you know what, for those of you who forgot, but you remember, we used to say, that's dope, yo, that's dope, that's dope. So the dopeness comes from an era for us. We know what dopeness means. And so thank you, because when I saw that, I was like, oh no, yeah, we got to have that. And so we're moving on over to the CEO and executive producer, Miss BJ Martin. Miss BJ Martin is my co-host on Sweetheart Before I Say I Do, and she's also the video maker of the video that introduces Own It magazine wherever we are. And so thank you so much, BJ, for being here with us tonight. Say hello to the people. You know how
Great.
we do.
Yes. Greetings, beautiful ones. Hey, it's good to see you all. Everybody's all pretty. Hey, we are here live today. We're not on Zoom. We are here live, looking beautiful. I love to see y'all beautiful faces. I get to see my co-authors. What's going on? Hey, y'all need to come off mute. Hey, I need to hear y'all.
Hey.
Hey.
Lulu. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I am Miss BJ Martin. Marisa introduced me, CEO and executive producer. I'm a best-selling author. I am a mental health advocate, and I also have a podcast called Snails with No Shells. Leave that shell at the door. That's my only rule. It's okay to be a slug for a little while. Okay, and so yes, it's okay. Take the shell off, relax, be vulnerable. To piggyback on Rochelle's story, she was on my podcast. So if you get a moment, check it out. She has a story. Rochelle has a story. She talks about her experience with the workplace bullying. So I just wanted to plug that because just to support her, and just get more details about her story. So Marisa, I want to say I met Marisa through another anthology that I did as well, Finding Joy in the Journey. Vanessa Blackwell was the visionary for that. I met her through that anthology, and I joined this project because of Maurice's leadership. Because we all know that in order to be a great leader, you must be able to serve. And that's exactly what Marisa does. She serves like crazy. She overserves. Okay. And so I can appreciate that. I see how she works. So I appreciate that. And so I had my podcast. She helped me take it to the next level. I had my podcast. I didn't really know exactly where I was going. Well, God sent her to me through someone else. God uses his earth angels to send us messages and to help us do things, So she helped me take my show to the next level. So of course I had to be a part of the project. And then I get a chance to tell a little bit about my story, about me and my chapter. I talk about the birth of Snails with No Shells because it was a dream that I had. I came up with the name before I knew what I was going to do with it. Snails with No Shells. God, what is this? I wrote it down. Okay, I had no idea what I was going to do with it until a year later. Okay, so I just talk about that part of it, and I talk about my taking off my shell. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not telling you. I'm not going to advise or coach you through taking off your shell if I had not taken off mine. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just going to talk a little bit about it, but that's basically what it's about, how it all started and the process of me healing and taking off my shell. So that is it. That's all I have for now. I'm looking forward to seeing you all in the Dominican Republic. Ow!
All right now. And there is so much more that's going to be coming with Miss BJ Martin. She, like I said, she's an executive producer on the rise. And as she rises up, everything is going to just fall into place for her. I'm really excited for her and all that she's doing. And we have Love is in the house. So Angela, would you introduce yourself? And
Yes. Thank you so much. I am so excited to be amongst you amazing ladies that are part of this project. I know we have some gentlemen as well, but first let me just shout out Marisa, because Marisa, you have done your thing. You hear me? You have really set it out. You have set the bar. You have put a standard out there that not too many people can accomplish. And so I just want to say hats off, congratulations and all that, because where we are now, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We are about to put it down in the Dominican Republic. We are about to show up and show out. So if you don't know, you better ask somebody, because this is about to be life-changing. And I'm just so glad that I have the opportunity to be able to be a part of it amongst all of you who are a part of this project. I met Marisa years ago through a mutual friend, and we just hit it off. And from that point, we just managed to stay in contact, do business together. She helped me to launch my magazine, I Shine magazine, getting ready to help me push out We Queens magazine. And so from there, we just decided to do business and do life together. And I really appreciate that, having a mentor, but also a sister. If you know Marisa, y'all know she goes hard. And so, that's me. I'm doing the same thing, going hard. So my chapter is becoming a woman empowered and owning it. I have a group called I Am a Woman Empowered. And so in 2020, when the pandemic, was just kind of getting started, I was like, what can we do, to put some things out here and to just encourage one another. And it led to the project and led to becoming a woman empowered. And I realized that for a lot of us, we wear so many hats, we do so many things. And a lot of times from childhood up to adulthood, we have allowed people to put things on us that maybe we bought into. Whether that, and from that point, it could have self-limiting beliefs. It caused us to have negative self-talk, and it caused us to self-sabotage, honestly, because we're out here trying to take care of everybody else, but we don't take care of ourselves. And so in order to own it, you've got to start changing and shifting your mindset to become empowered and to have the confidence and to know that, girl, we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And because of that, we have to step into it and own it and be unapologetic about who we are. And so my chapter just kind of goes through some of those things, but I just love seeing people step out and owning their voices. I'm a publisher. I have We Shine Media Solutions. And so one of the things with that is really, my tagline is, if I shine, you shine, we shine together. And so it's all about us coming together with our collective talents and skills and gifts and being amazing at it, and then collaborating and celebrating one another, because there's room for everybody. Just because you do something doesn't mean somebody can do it as well. You have your way of doing it because you are uniquely you. And if you can celebrate it and own it, then baby, listen, together we can be amazing and accomplish so much more. So again, Marisa, just thank you so much for the opportunity. I am super excited to see you all here, but I'm looking even more forward to meeting you all in the Dominican Republic.
Yes, yes, we will be in the house. I think I got everyone in the room. Yes, I am so excited for us to be here in the Dominican Republic. Like I said, when I started this, it was like, when I originally started this, it was going to be a solo project, and it was just the 365 days to own it. But God began to speak to me. And God began to speak to me because when he speaks to me, he gives me strategies. He gives me strategies because, you know, when you ask God, like he says, he that seeks me diligently will find me. And I had to say to him the other day, because I'm walking around, I'm straightening up. I got to work in a clean space. I can't have stuff everywhere. I got to work. So I'm cleaning up. And all of a sudden, God is like, Marisa, this is what needs to be in the book. This. And I had to stop him. I had to say, you know what? You always do this to me. You always do this to me when I'm doing something else. I can't do that right now. But he pours strategies in me like rivers of living water. It's just like, here, girl, here, girl, here, girl. So they're not all for me. They're not all for me. They're for me to give freely give to those who are willing to step up the plate. So when I met with you guys, I said to you, this is a 3 parts, 3 phases. We kind of did the first 2 phases kind of together. Most of us did it together. But then, you know, there was a part 3. And the reason why we are coming to the Dominican Republic is because if you're an author, you're a speaker. You have to advocate for your work. We were talking backstage earlier before we came live about people are not going to just buy your book. You got to create events behind them. You have to create a reason for people to buy your books. You got to go out there and hit the streets, and you got to start making a reason. You got to start sounding out your voice. What does it say, Dr. Schuler? Wisdom cries out loud in the open gates of the cities, and she speaks her words. That's you. When you are writing about your experience, your lessons learned are just basically wisdom. They're proverbs, right? They're proverbs. Right? But you got to go and you got to be intentional and strategic and purposeful, because like Lulu said, stuff is going to happen. You know, people going to pass away. You're going to have a car accident. Kids going to get mad at you. You going to get mad at your kids. Husband going to show out. Wife going to show. Life is going to happen. But does that mean it for you to compromise, give up, cave in on your dreams? No, you've got to be able to navigate through them. And that's why I said this can't just be an anthology. This has to be an anthology that teaches you how to be strategic and intentional and think outside the box of just writing a book. Don't just write a book. Create a movement. Create a whole platform. Make your book your business, as they say. But really do that. So in the anthology, I had you guys write a chapter. But then I also said, no, you just can't write a chapter. Tell them how to do what you just did. Give them some instruction. Give them something that will change and transform their life. Tell them the formula of how you got it done. How did you press through the mess to get to God's best for your situation? How did you reach your end, your results? So that's what this was about. It's about being bigger and opening up your mindset so that you can see that there's a whole world out there. There's I think it's 300, there's 327 or 300 and blah, blah, blah million people inside the United States. So if you spread outside your little group, you can sell your book. It's not hard. You got to do the hard stuff, though. You got to do the stuff that makes you feel uncomfortable. And once you start doing the stuff that makes you feel uncomfortable, eventually it becomes easy for you. The value system, the way you see what you have to offer, that value has to be high. You have to believe in what you're writing about. You have to own what you're writing about. You have to be fully convicted and persuaded that what you have written, right? We have to be fully persuaded in the word of God, but you have to be fully persuaded in your life and what you bring and your gift, your talent, your super you, your superpower, as Lulu says, your genius. You have to believe that it's valuable and that when you offer it, it's going to make such a priceless, you can't put a price on it, difference in someone else's life. And that's what this journey was all about. It was to say, let me ignite something in you. I want to read what I wrote in the book. I think it's the dedication. I didn't get that part, but I read it again today. To all the dreamers, when you reach a certain point in your life, you stop just doing and you focus your energies on becoming all God called, designed, and intended you to be. It is the moment when life gets real, really fast. It is when you wake up. The work that I do as I lead and inspire others to achieve their dreams will always be in dedication of making a life-changing impact on the world that we have all been called to serve. My first labor of love is to model excellence to my children, grandchildren, and down through my lineage, to leave an impacting legacy. After that, I focus on all whom God has called me to serve, both great and small. The contributing authors of the Own It Anthology are dedicated to educating, empowering, and equipping the readers, our clients, and all those who learn from our teachings, our lives, and our in-person talks, presentations, and beyond. We are speaking to the young, the wise, and all generations in between. This is a reminder. This is your life. You have the power to take authority and own it. That's what this is all about. It's freeing Rochelle's when they go to a job and someone's bullying them, how to push back. I used to tell my kids, don't allow anyone to pressure you. You pressure the pressure. Don't allow peer pressure. You pressure the pressure. But when we do that introspective work that is required in the Own It Anthology, when we do the work that's on the inside of us, like Dr. Schuler said, she has to work on changing herself. She has to cry out. I remember, we all do. Dr. Schuler knows, right? Intercessory prayer is why we here today, right? It's our grace and the mercy of why we can stand firm and strong, even in all of our flaws, and still speak a commanding word. And I remember praying and I was believing God for someone else. And the revelation God gave to me was, Marisa, you can't change anybody else. You can only change yourself. And so we have to be willing to do the work. So this is not about being fancy. It's not about spilling dirt. This is about real talk, the Own It Anthology. And those people who, like we came in on, who want to level up. We want to level up. We want to reach. We want to tap into and unleash all of our unlimited potential, because that's where you really are fulfilled, right? That's where freedom is. Freedom is living a fulfilling life, not necessarily rich, because we know the rich are sad and brokenhearted and lonely. We're not talking about that. We're talking about being in alignment with God's assignment for our lives, because then we are using every gift, every talent, every skill set, all our mental juices, all of our happy juices. We are using all of that, and we are alive. We are alive so that we can make others alive. And that's exactly what this has all been all about, is to really, really reach out and be transparent enough to bless other people so that they could do the same, and to make ourselves available. So as we go around, I want you to just share with everyone how they can connect with you. Share a little bit about, listen, the folks who want to come to the DR, come. Because if you hear me right now, wait till you get here. Listen, what did God told Abraham? He said, get away from your country. Get out of your country. I came here for y'all. I ain't coming here for me. I came here so y'all can come here. So get out of your country and get to a place where God can speak to you and you are fully away from everything that will distract you so that you can level up, so that you can have that space in that environment where you can do your own thinking. Your own thinking. You'll have no distractions other than being poured into and unleashed to go back to be powerful and strong and resilient enough to go back home and do the work that's next, with clarity, purpose, alignment, with an action plan. I'm telling you, this salt water here will open your mind like you have no idea. Have no idea. Being next to the Caribbean Sea, it just you just whoo. There's no care in the world. You're just so focused. So I want you. I already know what we doing here. TCSconsultingllc.com. If you're interested in coming to the conference, come. I want people who want more. I want people who are willing to do the work because we're getting ready to pour into you. And we don't want to pour into you and you still over here in la la land. We want to pour into people because this is us giving up our own stuff. God has plans for us. Like each one of us in here in this room, God's got a plan for us. And we have said we submit and we're going up. We ain't staying down here in low the bar, in the low place. We are ascending, and just like Lulu says, revolution, ascension. We are being rebels. We are not going quietly into the night. We are going up, and so we want you to come. I don't care if it's a big group or small. We want you to come because you need this thing here. That you need this thing here, and you need to be in lock and sync. You need to don't miss your divine appointment. Don't miss your divine appointment. So I want you guys to share with them how they can get on your shows, BJ and Sasha, how they can get on your shows, Rochelle, how they can help you with toiletries and company, and your things in it, ATL. Share what's going on with you there. If you need anything, Lulu, we have Dubai that's coming up. Somebody's got some money to go to Dubai. You better come with us because we getting ready to do something over there. And so we getting ready. Listen, we getting ready to ascend. And I don't take baggage. My kids will tell you, mommy leaves. My children would attest that. Listen, my daughter told me, like, you better check on me. Yeah, listen, we are out the door because we made the decision. And so I'm going to start with Eileen. Eileen's coming here. She's going to be here. Like, I think everybody in the room is going to be here in the DR. So Eileen, share a little bit about, tell them about the Toastmasters and tell them, about that experience. And remember, it's a group of y'all, Eileen, because Eileen can talk. There's a group of y'all.
To make it brief, I'm part of
So
North.
make sure you leave everybody in the room. I love her, but she can. Yeah, go ahead, Eileen.
I just wasn't sure. Okay, I am part of Northeast Philly Toastmasters. That's the first group I have joined. I'm also part of another group here in South Carolina called Shaw Afterburner. So in 2012, I joined, and that was basis of the Rooted and Grounded because unfortunately the principal did not feel patient with me. And Marissa said, instead of encouraging me or finding outlets to help with quote, my public speaking, it was like, okay, one and done, out the door. But yet I'm still standing. So Toastmaster International has been a plus for me, not just for public speaking, but for leadership. And Marissa joined probably as I was the area director. And what is that is I serve 4 clubs under me. And when I became the vision director, I made sure Marissa became area director because she saw how hard I worked and I gave her the tools. So with Toastmasters, it helps you with public speaking. You join, you start with an icebreaker, 4 to 6 minutes to get us to know you. And different levels of Toastmasters. I mean, we're in a new pathways where when Marissa joined and I joined with manuals, but we establish each level to become better leaders and speakers. And I encourage you to, wherever you live, it is international, whether here in the United States or abroad, find a Toastmaster group. I am still with Toastmaster. It's going on, it's now 12 years now 13 years. I've been in so long. It's like wow, it's just been a plus and a blessing to be part of it. So again, I enjoy Toastmasters. I serve as a club officer. I serve in areas of the area director, division director, being a youth leadership program. Marissa introduced me to that. And it's a growth process. I'm still growing into Toastmasters. I'm growing others. I have mentored other individuals in Toastmasters International. So come along for the ride. I really am thankful for Marissa to really involve me and all of us in this project. And again, I'm just blessed. I'm just blessed and highly honored, Marissa, that you thought about not just me, but and all the 57 authors that have now tapped in to make sure we establish our full potential.
Yes, yes, yes. And I'm going to tell you, Toastmasters, what people are not familiar with. So if you're trying to become credentialed as a public speaker, and because it costs money, so Toastmasters makes it affordable for you to actually one get your grounding, get your practice, get your become proficient in public speaking, but it also certifies you. So you can become an accredited public speaker through Toastmasters International. And that's one of the things that most people don't realize because they don't go deep enough. They look at the club level and things like that. I did a whole presentation on Get What You Came For because you see issues in organizations. And what God had to show me was you're going to see issues everywhere. So get what you came for. Go to Toastmasters. It's affordable and it gives you the practice, it gives you the feedback that you need to learn and grow, and it gives you the confidence to begin to speak. I can tell you that between my training with AT&T and my training with Toastmasters is the reason why I can go live by myself. There's times where people are not able to go live with me, but the show must still go on. That I'm able to go live by myself, that I'm able to speak off the cuff if somebody begins to talk to me because of that training and development that I got from a nonprofit organization that prides itself on leadership development and public speaking. It's really leadership development and communication, teaches you how to communicate with others. So Toastmasters International is a huge, huge organization that it needs to be in more common conversations. It's not in enough leadership and corporations know it because companies even pay for their employees to have a Toastmasters group. But if you're not having those kind of conversations, you don't know about these things. So D, you're up. Could you just let everybody know how they can work with you, talk to you, get connected with you? Yeah, take yourself off mute.
Yes, that would help. Yes, Marissa. I have been a life insurance agent, financial coach for over 19 years. So my passion, as I have mentioned, is life insurance because as Marissa mentioned, when I see a GoFundMe account, I know right there that they didn't have life insurance for those particular people. And it's not just our older generation. People just think, when you're getting older, you need to get life insurance, but you need to get it on the younger generation. And it's just to protect their insurability. It's not because you believe something is going to happen to them, but the way the world is today, the older we get, we come up with health issues. And at that time, it's too late when people come to me and they want life insurance because they're uninsurable at that time. But my thing is that I love educating on that, even in the financial aspect. Any way that I can help a family and just to educate them is not just selling them the life insurance, but it's the education that comes behind it. Because there's a lot of things that I mentioned that you need to take care of. Passwords to accounts. You need to let your family know that stuff so they can get into those different things when you're not here. Let them know where your money is. So when something happens, they'll know in order to get those things. So my thing is that I'm just a phone call away. So you can just reach out to me. You can give me a call, 732-754-8793. I'll talk to you, consult you, any way that I can help you or a family member. But I am just so excited about going to the DR just to educate others on not just purchasing life insurance, but the things that come along with it. So all of my clients is like a life-term relationship. You're like a family member to me. So I'm not going to sell you anything that I wouldn't purchase for myself. I'm not just going to, just give you something without you actually knowing the reason why you're getting it and knowing about it in detail. So if anyone is looking to get any, you know, I am the perfect person. I'm just like a sister to you. I'm not going to do anything, you know, that I wouldn't do for my own family for you. So I'm so excited. And as everyone said, you know, thank you so much, Marissa, for this opportunity. But ladies, we want to cut down some of those GoFundMe accounts. We definitely want to do that. So, I mean, just as Marissa mentioned, even if you just get enough for burial, I'm not going to overtax your pockets. I give you a financial program just to see what it is and what you can afford in your budget. So that's the one thing. So I'm so excited. And once again, Marissa, your plate is so full to where that's a good thing because it's overflowing to help other people. So, you know, I really appreciate that. And if anyone needs to get in touch with me or whatever, you know, you have the opportunity to get in touch with me. And the one thing is that I'm honest about whatever it is that I do, because with me lying to you is not going to help you or me. So I want to thank you for the platform, Marisa.
Yeah, you're welcome, because you're licensed. And one thing, listen, I'll attest to this. I am one of her clients, so it's not like I'm having her come up and talk to you, but I'm her client. And like I said, I'm a strategist, so I'm thinking like, what are the people missing out on? What are the conversations that they're not having? And I hate to say it like this, but it's true. What are they ignorant about? Because you have to think about that. You waiting until you get your insurance and then you're not insurable. Who thinks that they would not be insurable, that they're not insurable? So that it's intentional that I have Dee here, and it's because we need to be knowledgeable. And let me be transparent. I am one of her clients, and she, just like she just said, she will show up for you. She is like a sister. And so I'm going to go to Lulu. Talk to the people about a little bit about the going to Dubai. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Oh, so I really want to make sure we're going to Dubai in March, but I'm going to jump ahead just for a second to April. You want to be in the DR because Dubai is getting ready to happen in literally, little less more than a month. I'd love for you to be there, but you can get me in the DR with all of these other wonderful authors. You can get me in Aruba in August. You can get me in the Blue Ridge Mountains in October. So there are so many places. And why would you want to meet me there? Well, because retreats and our Ascension Academy for elevating women, that is what I do. I love to take women from being excellent to phenomenal. There is no sky and there are no limits. And the one thing that I never want a woman to say is to another woman, well, go ahead, girl, the sky is the limit. You just put a limit on yourself when you said that. So I am a disruptor. I am a radical agent for change, moving away from the status quo, coloring outside the lines, and not being afraid to be who you are authentically. Because once you find that spot of power and genius, there is no limits to what you can do. So never, ever be content with, oh, gee, I just got this promotion, or I just started my business and I hit my first million. Well, what about your billion? Make sure that you are always going to that higher place. Don't let anybody keep you at a particular level. So if you want to learn how to be a positive deviant, if you want to be radical and make some moves that take you to places that you have never imagined, meet me in the DR, Aruba, somewhere here locally. Email me. Really easy. Jacqueline Lulu at revolutionascension.com. Jacqueline Lulu at revolutionascension.com. And that's how you can find me.
Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. And so, Miss BJ, you're up.
Okay, okay, so to be on my show, just know that there's no criteria, okay, to be on the podcast. I talk to anybody and everybody. I've talked to an Atlanta rapper. I've interviewed him. I've interviewed a man that did 23 years in prison. I've talked to so many different kinds of people from different backgrounds. So you can hit me up to be on the show. Um, so I'm everywhere. I'm on Facebook, BJ Martin. I'm on Instagram, MS_BJ Martin. My website, I am MsBJMartin.com. I'm on TikTok. I'm everywhere. I'm on Apple, Amazon, everywhere. So, I'm on YouTube, Snails with No Shells, Snails with No Shells. And just know that don't feel like your story does not need to be heard or it's not important enough or it doesn't matter, because it is. If you have a story to tell, it needs to be told. Let's get past the guilt and the shame and embarrassment. That's the only way you're going to become free. Just get out of that. Let's go. It's time. It's 2023. Let's go. So yeah. So if you have a story to tell, and like I said, like I tell Maurice all the time, it's time for these closetpreneurs to come out of the closet. Okay, you making the best burgers and knitting the most beautiful sweaters, and the only people that know about it is the people at the job and your kids. It's time to come out. Let us all know yes, what you're doing is important, and all you need is one person to reach. So we're changing lives one at a time. That's what we're doing, and that's my platform is for you. I'm here to serve. I highlight you. What you're doing. Do you have an anthology coming out, a book coming out? Your 9 to 5 might be popping. What you do 9 to 5, you don't necessarily have to be an entrepreneur. You can be doing something great on the job. You don't have to have your own business, or you can be doing something on the side. Whatever you do, it matters. So that's it. And I just leave you with, remember, just like the sun, you are necessary. I love y'all.
Oh, Dr. Schuler, you are up.
Okay, well, let's see. You ladies are inspiring. So this is, I pray. Somebody was wearing a sweatshirt and it said, I pray for people. That's what I do. So more than anything, I'm an intercessor. I'm an apostolic intercessor. So my goal, my passion is to establish, equip, and empower others. And for me, and I think for most people, it starts with knowing our identity, because you just really can't get in there and pray with authority if you don't know who you are and because of whose you are. So that I have a school. It's let me see. It's a big long name. His Kingdom Ministries International School of Prayer and Intercession. So that is HKM ISB for short. And you can find that on my website is HKM12, the number 12, HKM12.com. And my email is j.schuler, no C in Schuler, okay, j.schuler421@gmail.com. And yeah, that's what I do. I pray for people, and my favorite is to go boots on the ground and go places. And I live just outside of DC. So we all know DC needs lots of prayer. But I first had to deal with my gates, then I can deal with the other gates.
There you go. There you go. And just so you know, when you're talking about intercession, intercession is not a quick prayer. Intercession is work, and to be honest with you, it can be classified as full-time work. Intercessors sometimes pray full days, and that's not talked about. It's not, but I've been there with them, and they pray, and that's a lot of work because it's pouring out, and afterwards you're exhausted, you're tired. So it is serious work, and we just thank you, Jan. We thank you so much for doing the work. We really, really appreciate you. We thank you there. And I say it all the time on the Power of Prayer. We're not here and safe on our own right, because a lot of us who are not intercessors, we don't have that mantle or that anointing or calling on our lives. We don't pray like y'all. You guys really, 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 really pray. And you're praying about things that we're not even thinking about. Like, like things happening to the country. They're praying about that we're not aware of, attacks on the nation. They're praying about, and so we do thank you for that. Just thank you for the work that you do. It is needed work, and so thank you so very much for sharing. I love it. Yep, you got it. Angela, you're up. Let them know what's happening over there in the ATL area and how we could support and be a part.
Absolutely. So for me, I'm a visibility coach as well. And like BJ said, you can't closet door. You have to get out and get seen and let people know who you are and what you do. And what I do is really help you to get yourself out in front of the masses so that you can dominate in your chosen niche. People need to know who you are in order to be able to do business with you or to support you in any kind of way. Also, just kick off in the Woman Empowered Group, the Empowered Morning Show. So we come on Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But it's an opportunity for you to get plugged in and empowered for your day. So y'all know how you start a thing is how you end a thing. So if you up in the morning and you start your day off right and you get empowered, and I'm talking about we give you a dose of hope. We have the woman chat, but we are all about helping you to just get energized and empowered so that whether you go into your business, whether you go into your job, or whether you just stay at home and take care of the kids, but you do it from a more empowered, energized mindset. And I'm telling you, that just helps your day go better. That helps those ideas start, marinating in your brain so that they can come out. You talk to God and he helps you to give you the things you need to get it out there. So follow us at Empowered Mornings on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. And then, of course, if you need to get with me about visibility or publishing or anything, I am Angela Lewis on all social media platforms.
Oh, awesome. And so, Sasha, you're up.
All right. So everybody, I would say the best way to reach me, I was thinking about this the whole time. Just Google me, SACHA Walton, WALTON. I'm everywhere. You can find me on Facebook, all the social media platforms. Facebook and LinkedIn is my name, Sasha Walton. Instagram is That Girl Sash, but you can find me everywhere on Google. Just do that. That's the easiest way, including my website. But if you are an entrepreneur out there, especially if you're a woman entrepreneur or creative, and you are looking to start a business or pivot, or if you're feeling burnt out and don't know where you're going to do with your business anymore, definitely have one-on-one sessions. I could work with you on that. If you're interested in learning how to strategically market yourself as well, we do that as well. I also have, I didn't mention before, but I also have a TEDx event coming up. And if you are interested in doing a TEDx event, I am the official license holder for TEDx Mellon Street here in Hampton, Virginia. And I will be doing call for speakers in March, starting March 1st. So definitely you want to connect with me on that if you're interested in being part of that process. I have a lot of things on the list, but most importantly, if you have a personal brand and a business and a company, and you want to learn how to successfully establish an ecosystem between the two, that they flow with synergy, definitely I can help you with that, because that's what I've done with my business. Event production, podcast. If you want to be on the podcast, according to Sasha Podcast, we interview entrepreneurs, and creatives. Even if you're athletes in terms of branding and marketing, we interview as well. I have a new segment that's coming up. It's going to be for the real entrepreneur, those who go through those ugly messes when it comes down to entrepreneurship. we'll be talking to you as well. I got a whole list of things, so definitely want to connect with me. I'll be in the DR, so definitely come down there with me as well, and all these other wonderful people who are going to be there. So in that way we can connect with you guys, so that we can empower you and help you to become the highest version of yourself for your purpose. And that's it. That's it for me.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All good stuff, good stuff. Rochelle, you're up.
Sir. So one of the things when I went through my storm, I asked God, why me? And God said, why not you? He said, take yourself off your mind and help other people. And so my passion since 2015 has been to actually help other people, educating people on the importance of personal health and hygiene, and making sure that individuals not only being educated, have toiletry kits to go along with it. Right now, God has blessed me with an enormous amount of schools that I service, Title I schools in my area, and I'm able to provide everything from soap to sanitary napkins for children. And one of the major things that people constantly ask me for is sanitary napkins. And so in the upcoming months, we're going to be doing a sanitary napkin drive, just doing a drive for young women to understand the importance of being, clean and sanitized during that part of their life, but also understanding it's life, it's human, it's normal, and that's what we go through. But as far as everything else that we do, we provide toiletry items to the community, from individuals who are residing homeless or people who just can't afford that soap detergent or soap or lotion. So our goal is just to make sure that everybody has their daily basic needs. Our hashtag is, love, hope, and soap. And I would pray that everybody could, join in helping us, either to purchase a t-shirt or even just to donate, like Marissa said, $5. It goes a long ways. But I can be reached at www.toiletryandco.org. And my email is toiletryandcompany@gmail.com.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And so we are going to take this time, since we've been talking about the DR all night and talking about the book. It's the only anthology and journal. It's a book and a journal. We're going to just give you a little insight, little flavor, a little taste of the Dominican Republic. We hope you join us. Tell you something, that water is just as calming as it looks. It feels so good here to be in this area, and when you come, the heat is going to just be ramping up. And guess what, tourist season will be coming to a close because it'll be starting to get warm over there where you guys are. And so when you come, it's going to be really nice. Why? Because we'll have the resort kind of pretty much to ourselves, so we can really, really enjoy ourselves and do the deep work that's necessary. We're going to start off with a, welcome reception when you arrive on Wednesday, because the conference is from the 26th to the 30th. You'll arrive on Wednesday. We're going to relax. I am I am intense, but I'm also very relaxing. I love to relax and enjoy myself. I don't like to be stressed out. And that's, if you know, I don't do it. So we'll have the reception, welcome reception on Wednesday, and then Thursday we're going to go on an excursion that everyone can enjoy, whether it's getting to know the culture, seeing some beautiful sights. We'll do an excursion on Thursday, so that day when you first come in, it's going to just be relaxing and unwinding. I want all of your life and all that stuff off of you before we go in. And then on Friday, we'll have our first set of sessions, of conference sessions. And we'll have general, the only thing on our what our capacity is, actually how many people show up, will determine if we change that structure or not, and we go in deep. I love small groups because you can be more intimate and get a lot of work done. And so we will make that adjustment if we have to. And that's Friday. Thursday night, on the night of the excursion, if everyone's not too tired, we will have game night. We'll have time to be on the beach and have a little fun. They have a whole area that's set aside for us on the side of the beach. You can sit actually on the beach, nice chairs that are available on the beach, and you just relax with that water and just hearing the water move, and the small movement of the water is just relaxing. You could do that, self introspective work, or just don't think at all. Just chill, right? Have a glass of wine, whatever. Relax on the beach. We're gonna have game nights. We're gonna have a lot of game nights. We're gonna do a lot of singing because I like karaoke. We'll have prizes and all that other good stuff on those nights. And then Friday night, like I said, we'll have the full conference. Saturday, I'll do full conference, and then Saturday evening we'll have an award ceremony. Like I said, many of you don't realize, but I will be doing my homework on what you've been doing out there, and we want to reward you for the work that you've done. Sometimes we get overseen. Some of the work that's being seen and unseen, we get overlooked. And we want to celebrate all of our authors that come and travel here to the Dominican Republic. We want to let you know you're loved and appreciated. So we will be having an awards night on Saturday night. And then in the morning, we'll have brunch and a farewell, wishing you well, blessings of expansion and all your desires and dreams and all that stuff coming into alignment and sending you off well. And so that will be it. And I'm excited. So if you're interested in attending the conference and coming to the Dominican Republic, you can expedite your passport, but you got to do that now. If you don't have your passport already. And just go to tcsconsultingllc.com. It is our main page. We wanted to make it easy for you so you don't have to search the website. It is our main page. Just scroll on down. You'll see the hotel. You'll see the video that I just played here. And you see loads of pictures, loads of information. And like Sasha said, I always say, just Google me. You can find me because I'm everywhere. So just Google me. I don't know all the social media stuff offhand, but just Google me. Ladies, and we do have men. Last week, thank God, editor in chief of Off the Bench magazine came in and graced us with his presence. Thank you, Mark, for doing that to show all women. There are a few men that are in there, and they share their stories from the heart. They've done some really amazing things, working with one's a coach, working with young people in track, and working with them as an officer, working with them in youth leadership development, teaching them how to lead themselves effectively. And a portion of the Toastmasters structure is incorporated in what he does. That's Coach Rick Johnson. So look at Coach Rick Johnson's chapter. That's him doing it, and he's in Prince George County. So he's in the DMV area for those who are in the DMV area. And then you got the Conversations with God. Leon Dales, he's talking about his relationship and his encounter as a young boy with God, and how God immediately answered his prayer. And so you have him, you have like I said, you have the Power Shift with Mark Wiggins. He talks about mindset and how it's so important and critical for the mind to shift so that the power can shift and be in alignment. And then you have Carrie Rivers. He speaks out, has a tremendous story. And just wanted to give a shout out to Carrie because he was watching us earlier. Not sure if he's still here. But he is the editor in chief of Standard magazine. And so we got the men in the house, and then we have Sean Hoggs, retired Major Sean Hoggs. He is focused on leadership in his chapter, and how leaders can glean from him to understand the importance of discipline. I know his background is in logistics. He's the Air Force retired major. And so we got the men in the house. So, and we got the young. My granddaughter Nye speaks from, we need to be seen. So it's cross generational, and it is speaking to all genders. And so, just want to say thank you so very much for being launched. We are live on Amazon. We are live on Amazon. And those who out there who love us and support us, we got the link on the main page. I'll drop the link here. Please, please buy and help us to become the best sellers that we are. Some of us are already bestsellers, probably multiple time bestsellers. And we want this project to be a bestseller as well. And so, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for watching us. And thank you, authors, for trusting me with your work. I am so proud of you. I'm so excited about this journey. We are just getting started. So thank you. We are out. Have a good evening.